Alright, it is, what time is it? Sorry about the shakiness, 10:19 in the morning. Starting this, I just disconnected my battery. So here's a little trick. Flashlight on. Go in there, disconnect your batteries, take your tray top and turn it upside down and put it underneath the batteries. That way they don't make any contact. That way you ain't got to sweat it too much if you think they might make contact. Starter replacement. That's what this is. Alright, fellas. An hour and 40 minutes just to get it out. That's for an inexperienced person. Hold on. The only problem I ran into was this one right here and this one right here would not come loose, so I snipped them at the edge. I will be replacing the new clips. There is a little bit of wear mark here, as you can see, rubbing raw. This looks a little bit swollen, as if it's from overheating, so I very definitely could have had a problem with this starter. Wouldn't know soon enough. And this is that doesn't look that hot either. I'm gonna have to trace my wiring and see if I can figure anything else out. But then again, I did cut it right near the edge, and I might have got to I don't know. Don't smell nothing burnt. Anyway, hour 40 minutes. See how long it takes me to put it in. Alright, people. An hour and 4 minutes to put it back in. And, you know, it wasn't as hard as everybody said it was. Especially once you know what you're doing and put it back in and all that. But, I know you can't see much in there. But whatever. That's done. So, now we're doing a service on the APU. Let me see. My hours. I can't see my hours. Battery's disconnected. I still haven't plugged that back in yet. Take your bottom cover off. This is oil change. Take the whole filter kit. This thingamabob for the one I got anyway is that. It includes that oil filter, air filter, fuel filter, EVAT, air filter. Right? This blue one goes in the cab. This white one goes right in here into this. You pop these clips. One's on the back side, is kind of a pain in the butt. Look at this. I'm slacking, guys, really. Sorry. So y'all can bitch at me all you want. I don't care. It happens. The only thing you got to look out for is this thing here. I've noticed this on another one I took apart. This rubs up against the roof of the APU. So keep an eye on that hose. Pop this off. This is the oil filter, the fuel water separator thingamajig, and it will have diesel in it. So same thing, it's gonna get on your belt unless you take precautions. I didn't know. I didn't take precautions. This is my first time doing this myself. I already saved $500 on installing my starter. I'm gonna save on this too. So swap that out. Make sure you screw it in. Use yourself a nice little oil filter wrench to get it off. This oil filter, you don't need a wrench to get it off if you got good strong hands. It goes right in this hole right here. I always do it, and most mechanics I know recommend it. Put a little coating on this on the black ring. Put a little oil coating or something, oil on the black ring before you reinstall it. That supposedly gets a better seal. I don't know. Maybe in these new age times it doesn't really matter. This thing's dirty as crap, man. And the belt was squeaking a while back. Just started squealing a little bit. Hopefully I'm sure this diesel ain't gonna help none. I'm gonna take the blower and clean this sucker off. I can't clean it up the way Thermo King does, because my landlord, in their infinite wisdom, I don't have a water hose outside of this house. So other than that, that's it. And check your wire. I know I did this before. I showed y'all my dadgum when I fixed this. Your alternator here. Check that wire coming off the back. Not that one, but there's another single wire that's hooked up to this bolt right here. Check that wire. Make sure that it's not falling apart, because it will. All right, that's it. I'm done. I mean, I'll shut up, UPS. Good Lord. Don't, if you do blow these things off or clean them up, don't do it until you put everything back together, because you don't want any dirt getting up inside of there or anything like that. So anyway, I'll talk to you in a minute. All right, good. What is this, Tuesday now? Wednesday? I don't even know what day I'm in anymore, man. Come on now. Wednesday, December 23rd, Christmas Eve. All right, fellas, so this weekend I'm probably going to tear down my Chevy. I did drive it up here. Whatever, if it breaks down, it breaks down. I'm 2 miles from the house. I don't care. There's no water in it. Whatever. Get on to me about that too. So, starter changed, 618,300 miles. I think that's the first starter this vehicle has had. I didn't see it on the list anywhere for being replaced. So, that was done. As you could see from the videos, I didn't really show much. There's plenty of videos out there showing you how to repair it. I'm no super duper mechanic when it comes to these diesel engines yet, so I will say this, on a scale of 1 to 10 for ease, I actually give it an 8, maybe 7. It's not that bad. I mean, it's actually really easy, but I mean, playing on this, right? And yeah, see that? Unless you got a brand new truck, and if you got a brand new truck that needs to start, you better take it in for warranty work. Anyway, so it was fairly simple. Pointers that I could have used, I don't know. I mean, these guys were taking off tires and fender wells to get to the starter on a 16 Cascadia. Mine's got a oil bypass system, and the APU hoses are like right there by the main power main power line that goes to the starter from further back. And I don't like the way it's rubbing up against the frame, so I got something to put up against it, like a cushion. I gotta figure something else out though. I got to get something. I mean, I'm thinking like one of those rubber cushion thingies. Oh my God, I got dirt all over me, man. I got to take a shower like crazy. I just came back up here to drop my truck off and pick up my vehicle and hook back up to my trailer, and I had to clean my fifth wheel off too. So I live on dirt road, right? So when I took my truck to the house, it hasn't rained in a while, and it's not dusty dirt, but it's like got little pebbles, specks, whatever you want to call them. So I had to clean that off before I can even hook up, but I left my truck keys, my pickup truck keys, in my jacket, because it was like 30 this morning and it's 70 now. So I took the jacket off shortly after I got to the house. I was already hot and working. So now I gotta wait on my wife to bring me my keys to my pickup truck so I can move it out the way, because I blocked off my trailer when I disconnected from it up here. So I'm gonna move my truck out the way, hook this thing back up to it. Yes, I cleaned my fifth wheel. And then, but I gotta go in for a annual inspection in January, or one of our quarterly inspections on January. So I'm going to get them to do the fifth wheel, relube it, clean it completely off and relube it. I want to get a good look at it, because it had a lot of grease on it when I got it, and I just want to make sure it's a good fifth wheel. I want to take a better look at it than Schneider did. I don't know. I don't think Schneider did anything other than, oh, he's got a fifth wheel that works and it looks good, so we're going to go with that. So I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but it never hurts. I mean, it is 600,000 miles old, right? Not that I need that. And then I'm going to get the oil change too. I've gone, I think, 70,000 miles or something like that. So I've gone 81,000 on this oil, and the last oil sample I did, it was showing really good. I mean, all I had was a little bit of contaminant in it, and the viscosity was still great and everything else. But I don't want to go much further than that. I think that's pushing it. I mean, I could probably send them another sample and it'd be good. But the other issue is I was low on oil the other day, like a quart, oddly enough, and I put a different brand of oil in it, not a different consistency. It was the same, although he changed the oil with all synthetic, and I used I don't know, whatever Schneider uses for their crap. So I'm going to get that done, as well as the fifth wheel, and I'll give an update on the price on that. Anyway, so the time on, I think I already said it, the time on the starter was 1 hour and 40 to get it off, 1 hour to get it on. And the PM on the APU I did was 1 hour. So, and that includes blowing it off and getting diesel all over me. Well, the belt and everything. So, another thing to note, if you do your own APU PM, is when you first start that sucker back up, and you need to, when you get done with it, make sure it starts back up. Change the oil and the water separator and the air filter. And when you get done and put it back together, put the drain plug back, fill it up with oil. It takes almost 6 quarts, and it's going to take a minute for it to kick on, because when you disconnected the water separator, it lost its pressure, kind of like in a diesel engine. Well, it is a diesel engine, kind of like in a DD15 or whatever, but you don't have to prime it. It primes itself. I mean, it sat there and it took it a minute for it to be like, it's like, for a minute there, I thought I was going to have to hunt online to find a way to prime it, but it primed itself. So, and it fired up. It sounded really good. Other than that, I mean, been a good day. I got dirty as crap. I got done. Let's see, I've been here since probably 5, and I did all this. I had delays, right? I started at 10:19, and that was over here at where I park, and I decided I was going to take it to the house because I got air tools and whatnot there. And I tell you what, that would have taken me a lot longer. The other thing is, on the starter, they tell you you need an extension and this, that, and the other. Okay, I bought an extension kit, the $20 one from O'Reilly's, that has a 10-inch and an 8-inch and the smaller one, and it has a bunch of wobbly heads. So, bobbleheads, whatever you want to call them things. So I used one of the wobbly heads on the end. I didn't have a problem getting the back bolt on the bottom. It was the back bolt on the top that I had an issue. It's plain as day. You can see it on this truck. I don't know what with others, but I took what was it? I had the 19 millimeter extension. Actually, I don't even think I used an extension. I didn't need to, because the heads aren't that far. Well, actually, I did. There was a couple of them that said you need an extension. I didn't. But I used an extension on that. So the 19 millimeter extension and the wobbly head and I think the 10-inch extension for that. I propped that up. Once I got it on there, I propped that up, and then I put my 8-inch extension on there. I couldn't get my ratchet in there, the air ratchet in there. So that was the only one I had to use by hand. And the rest of them I used my air ratchet. The other issue I ran into, and I showed y'all that, the wire that I cut, one of them I didn't need. Okay, it goes from the starter to the starter, and any of y'all that have changed that are probably like telling me earlier, hey man, that goes from there to there. Okay, it does. And it's funny because I pulled the wire off that goes from there to there, and I realized, I'm like, this looks like it goes from there to there. And sure enough, when I looked at the brand new one, okay, when I first loosened the bolts, I had put the socket on the wrong bolt. So you got 3 bolts with this 19 millimeter head on that starter. There's one on top you got to loosen, and one second row down you got to loosen. The third one down, you don't. It's either that or the third one down you got to loosen, and the second one down you don't. It's one of those two. just know that the one that has the massive wires going to it, you have to loosen that one. And I got those stupid screws off that I couldn't get off. You know, usually if you like have enough pressure, I don't know, those of you that work on cars, if you have enough pressure, you push down on it while you're turning it, and you can turn it most of the time. And that worked after I did that. So infuriating. But the other issue I had is there's two brackets. On mine, there was two brackets that hold wires just underneath the starter, and then there's another one further down towards the front of the vehicle. I took the one towards the front of the vehicle off. The two up there, I figured were going to be hard to get the bolts back in, so I left them alone. And I took the one that's closer to the front of the vehicle off just after the starter, and that's how I dropped the starter down. I don't know if that helps anybody or not, you know, but and then I still had those two wires attached, and that's where you're able to actually get that down with those two wires attached, and then unscrew it. I couldn't get a bolt head around it. I had all kinds of issues with that, and that's probably why it took an hour and 40 minutes. I mean, if I had been doing this, if I was a mechanic and I did this often enough, I guarantee you I could do it in 30 to 45 minutes. And I didn't have to take the tire off. I didn't have to take the fender well off. You don't have to do all that nonsense. I mean, that's just extra work. And then you got to put it back on. I took one bolt out, and I looked at it, and I'm like, the only way I'm getting that, the easier access point would be to take the fender well, whatever you want to call this piece that's underneath our door. You take that off. But to get that off on the passenger side, if you don't have a def tank, because it doesn't clip in like the driver side does, is to take the step off and then take the bolts out, because I could see the bolts from the other side. So I couldn't get the bolts out, the steps, the torque screws for the steps off though. So I gave up. I got them loose a little bit, and then started stripping, and I probably could have put some PB Blaster or something on. I was like, you know what, I ain't doing all this. I'm gonna waste more time taking these stairs and taking this side rail off than I need to even take the whole thing apart. So done with it. And my wife didn't even want to kiss me. I got so much dirt on my face, and I don't mind getting dirty. I mean, it comes with the territory. I saved $500 on that, and I saved, how much does an APU service cost at Thermo King? I don't even know, but I know I saved probably almost $1,000 today. So, hey, you know what? For me not going to work today and not coming out till Monday, the money I cost myself, I saved myself. And I was going to be home anyway, so, you know, I actually saved money. I don't know. I'm working all my own stuff, so I save lots of money that way, but living frugal. I'm gonna have to learn how to do that anyway with supposed what's gonna happen in this country. But man, what is taking this lady so long? Anyway, so that's that. I will be posting part of the teardown on the truck. I mean, I'm gonna rip the valve covers off. I'm gonna rip the heads off. And then I'm going to go from there, because I want to see what the head gasket looks like. And if the head gasket looks fine, then I'm going to go deeper. I don't know, people. But, hey, story of my life. I bought the wrong truck like an idiot, but it was a good deal. So hopefully I can turn around and it'll be worth more than... I know it'll be worth more than what my end payment for it was once I ever sell this Dodge that I can't sell. But you know, man, there was a load. Let me tell you this. I got up this morning, right, and I was looking at the load board, photos. I was looking at the load board just for the heck of it to see what's coming out of this house area, out of Savannah, Georgia area and whatnot. And where you at, man? I took screenshots. Okay.
So there was a load going from Savannah, Georgia to Austin, Indiana, 695 miles for $2,500. Pick up Wednesday, deliver Saturday. You know, if I lived in Indiana, I would have been all over that, you know, or if I lived in Ohio or something like that, you know, I would have been all over that. That's almost $4 a mile. You probably could have talked them up to 2,800. I mean, and then 934 miles, Savannah, Georgia to Munster, Indiana, 934 miles for $3,500. Load ASAP and deliver before 4 p.m. tomorrow. That would have been tight, but anybody that had been in Savannah could have got that. $3,500, you can't beat that. This girl here, this poor girl, she has had so many problems with this truck, this red truck. She'll start it and leave it running forever, and then leave, and then she'll be stuck going up the hill. It just stops. I think it's automatic and it has problems, but I don't know. Anyway, I really don't have anything else, and if I don't talk to y'all soon, y'all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll be out probably Monday, so before the new year starts. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day.